So these runaway hospital numbers, a big reason Boise Mayor Lauren McLean decided to make an announcement today. She decided to answer the question we've been getting a lot lately for like weeks. Will increasing COVID cases lead to new COVID restrictions? Yes, at least in Boise. As Mayor McLean said today, the city is taking action to cut down on the spread of the virus. And it's going to include new protocols on events permitted by the city, and it's going to go into effect on Friday. Too little? Too late? Joe Paris spoke with Mayor McLean today, and he joins us now because, as we break this down, what the mayor did and did not do, why don't we first go over what these new protocols cover?
Yeah, let's cover the protocols, and then we'll have the conversation that the community's having right now. We're already seeing a lot of messages coming into the 208 text line. So let's be very clear here. All the requirements I'm going to talk about here in a second are only for events permitted by the city of Boise and held at city-owned facilities. So no, none of these that I'm going to talk about here in a second apply to the Boise State football game on Saturday. For events permitted by the city of Boise and held at city-owned facilities, there are two important designations here. Events under 250 people and events over 250 people. We'll show you these requirements here. For events under 250 people, masks are required both indoors and outdoors if 6 feet of physical distance cannot be maintained. Event organizers must provide masks for the attendees and make sure that the masks are being worn while people are not eating or drinking. And event organizers, they have to submit a plan through the city's special events approval process to make sure they even get the good to go. Designation number 2, events larger than 250 people. You'll see here very similar requirements. One thing I do want to point out at the top of the list there, this again just for events over 250 people, proof of vaccination or proof of negative COVID-19 test is required for all attendees. Of course, masks required there as well. You can see a very similar list. After the announcement this afternoon, we quickly saw community feedback, and a major question was along the lines of this one that we got from Doug. We'll show you here. He writes, the mayor comments on the concern about COVID-19, yet we have a mask rate at the BSU game of about 20% wore them. I'm no genius, Doug says, but simple math tells me we have some people 80% not enforcing anything, thus spreading the funk. So Doug, like others, are raising this point. Why did the mayor of Boise not go further on her action? For example, by instituting a mask policy citywide, so it would include events like Boise State football. Here's the response I got from Mayor McLean when I raised this question.
We've talked with doctors about it, the healthcare systems about it. We've looked at what would be the most impactful at this point if we want to ensure that we're reducing future cases of COVID while hospital counts remain high, and really believe that the most effective tool that we can take at this moment is on events. At this moment in time, we believe that given the continued increase in vaccination rates in Boise, which is much higher than the rest of the region, the cases and the location of cases and how closely tied they are to vaccination rates, and in Boise, the gathering of people from all those different locations in our city needs to be addressed by us looking at how we keep folks at events safe.
The mayor also called on the community to get vaccinated in Boise and beyond. Brian, it's a conversation we'd be having, as you heard the mayor allude to, that even if the city of Boise does X, Y, and Z, people still come in and out of the city every day. Right. One note I did want to mention, Mayor McLean, not by name, but she did call on, I guess, local and state officials saying that they have the ability to do more things blanket-wide. She didn't call for any specific action from Governor Brad Little, for example. But, I mean, the question is, will we see more in Boise and beyond? Well, if things continue to get worse, city leaders and state leaders, they may be forced to take action. The question is now, what could that look like?
And I want to clarify something. You said events permitted by the city of Boise. That means if you want to hold an event in a park, you have to get a permit from the city that has to be approved.
Correct.
That's what you mean, not just something that is allowed, but something you have to ask for permission to reserve a space in a park.
You can really think about this as house rules. If it's on the city of Boise property, it's their house. These are their house rules. If you're going to have a permitted event by the city of Boise on city of Boise property.
And then to be clear, Art in the Park did require masks this past weekend. Tree Fort is requiring vaccinations or proof of a negative test coming up. So now they will have to require masks?
Yeah, and actually Tree Fort put out a tweet this morning saying we're asking people to wear masks.
Okay.
So there you go.
So this is what it'll be like going forward. Thanks, Joe.